Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the best photography gear for beginners who want to start taking photography a little bit more seriously. But since I'm a Nikon shooter, I decided to bring on my friend and fellow YouTuber, Jamie Delane Watson. She's going to come and share her Canon alternatives. So to start us off, Jamie is going to be sharing the camera body that she recommends for Canon shooters.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for having me today, Joy. So my first recommendation for beginner gear for new photographers would be the Canon 5D Mark III or the Canon 5D Mark II. The reason for this is eventually you're going to want to upgrade to a full frame camera anyhow, so I would recommend starting with a full frame camera right away. So the Canon 5D Mark II is actually discontinued, but you can find them used for a really good price, and I shot on that camera for years. If you want to go to something brand new, the Canon 5D Mark III will be awesome.
The camera body that I recommend for Nikon shooters is the Nikon D600 or the D610. This is a full frame camera body, which means the sensor size that captures the image is bigger than a crop sensor and a lot of entry-level camera bodies. So your image is going to be larger, you're going to have more details in your shadows and your highlights, and a little more leeway when you're editing. It's actually super affordable as far as full frame camera bodies go, especially since many cameras have come out since this camera, making it much more affordable.
Next, you're going to want a starter lens. I have two starter lens recommendations for you. The first is the Canon 50mm f1.4 lens. This is a great lens that's around the $500 price point. It has that low aperture, so it's good in low light and will give the blurry backgrounds you're looking for, but the price is also right. My next favorite lens would be the Canon 35 f2. Now, of course, its more expensive cousin is the 35mm f1.4, and that runs around $1,500, I believe. But the 35 f2 is around that $300 to $500 price point on Amazon, and that's a great lens to start. I always recommend prime lenses because I love their ability to shoot in low light, and they really get you used to composing with your feet. You can't just zoom in on the lens, you need to move your body to achieve the right composition.
Awesome, thank you so much, Jamie. Next, I want to share with you a lens that I think every new photographer should have, and that lens is the Nikon 50mm 1.4 G series lens. Don't worry, I'm going to link all of this down below, but basically, it's so versatile and cheap that I think every photographer should start out with it. It's a full frame lens, meaning that when you put it on a full frame camera body, you will get a true 50mm focal length. I'm actually using a 50mm to film this video right now. So as you can see, you could use a 50mm for almost anything. You could use it for portraiture, some of your detail shots, shooting in tight spaces. The 50mm is especially great if you want to get that soft, creamy bokeh in the background, but you want to keep your subject really sharp. My favorite flash for Nikon photographers is the Nikon SB910. This is a fantastic flash for a couple of reasons. It's able to recycle really quickly, which means when I'm firing, I don't have to wait, 5 seconds for it to recharge. It can rapid fire like crazy and it doesn't overheat. So I've shared with you a camera body, a lens, and a flash, but I want to give you guys a couple of my favorite accessories that I think every new photographer should have. The first accessory I think every new photographer should have is a 5-way reflector. When this baby opens up, it has a silver side and a gold side. Just like it says in the name, there are 5 different sides. The sides that I use most are the silver side and the scrim. The scrim is amazing if you're in a really harsh lighting scenario. You can open it up and it basically just diffuses the light over your subject if you were to hold it between the light that's harsh and your subject. Every photographer can use a reflector, so if you don't yet have one, definitely get your hands on one of these.
Finally, I'm going to recommend my favorite lens bag. It's called a shoot sack. I've been shooting with this lens bag for the full 10 years that I've been shooting, and I absolutely love the ability to have lenses right on my hip at any point in the day. I mainly shoot weddings, and so I don't want to be taking the time to go back to my lens bag at the back of the ceremony site and grabbing the lenses that I need. I have a rolling suitcase that I have at the back of the ceremony, so I really prefer to have 2 or 3 lenses right on my hip. I just shoot with the one camera and I can change out the lenses as I see fit. So it's the Shoot Sack lens bag. It's a wonderful purchase for beginners.
The next accessory I want to share with you guys is this fun little bounce card. So as you can see here, I'm using the white side, but it also comes with a silver side. And what this does is it just spreads the light up and kind of down back on your subject again. So if I were shooting Let me see. If I turn this around, and this is my camera underneath, I would tilt it 1 or 2 clicks forward, and that way I'm not shooting directly at my subject, but I'm able to get like a really beautiful spread of light into whatever my subject is or whatever the object is that I'm shooting. So this is a super affordable attachment that you can add to your flash, and sometimes if you're adding this to a less powerful flash, it kind of helps direct that power so you don't lose as much on the ceilings or where you don't want your light. All right, guys, I hope that this collaboration has been helpful for you to see both the Nikon and the Canon perspectives of the best gear when you're starting out and starting to get serious about photography. Before you go, be sure to check out the collaboration we did over on Jamie's channel. We answered 5 ways you can get more people to book you through your website. This is super value packed and you're not gonna wanna miss it. So be sure to check that out on her channel. Give this video a thumbs up before you go and let me know, what are your must-have photography gear? What's that first piece of gear you bought that really helped you get started in your photography journey? Tell me below. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.